So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
Welcome. We're back. And as you can see, it's a bunch of us today. Got most of the crew on deck. I am McDeedus, and this is on last week's episode. We will be discussing Loki, episode 5, Journey into Mystery. But before we get there, everybody step up, step back, introduce. No, we're going to introduce ourselves. Since we have somebody who's not usually here with us, we'll start with Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, when was the last time I was on an episode? I think
my
title when I logged on was Vashon, so it was definitely WandaVision. It was definitely WandaVision. Right. Yeah. So I'm good. How are y'all?
We also have my bestie.
sorry, answer.
It's Courtney.
What's up? I'm here. Even though, if I randomly muted, it's because Ron did it. Unprovoked.
Every now and then we have to remind Courtney where she is in the hierarchy. It's fine.
Yeah.
She understands.
I have to go to the back.
Speaking of Ronnie,
it was just Juneteenth. Get it in order.
please, guys, please.
It's Dr. Umar in the chat. That's
we are trying to conduct a serious recap here. We are professionals.
You are correct.
We are here to recap episode 5. How are you doing today?
I am fine. Thank you so much for asking. This is a glorious day where we will delve into the journey into mystery. Now, as usual, we start off with general impressions. What did y'all think of the episode? We'll start with Courtney, always.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I think it's my favorite one so far. I thought it was great.
Really? Mm-hmm. Ryan? Running?
Okay, so I wasn't ready yet, so let me prep my
face
thoughts.
Too. I just thought he was thinking. I said frozen face. I just thought he was deep in thought. I was like,
he's pondering. Like it? Let him ponder. Go ahead, Ryan.
But no, I liked it, and part of me wishes this show was like longer. Because because even like now we're getting into like the real meat of the show, like what it's actually about. But part of me kind of misses like that weird TVA stuff. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying like I wish the show was longer because like the world that they created in this show is like really interesting. So I wanted more of that. But in regards to this episode, like I like the episode. It reveals a lot, which we'll get into. So yeah, I liked it.
Okay, so when you say longer, tell me what you mean. Do you mean as far as the episode or episode
like the
duration or
like
the
actual
episodes?
Yeah, like the actual series. I wish it were longer.
Okay.
More episodes?
You just wish there were more episodes.
Yeah. Okay. And trust me, I never say that. I'm typically the other way. I'm like, please trim off 2 episodes. But no, I wish we had a little bit more.
I heard there's going to be a season 2.
I wouldn't be against it.
I told y'all, did I not say this is going to be the best series out of the ones that we've got this summer? And just because, like I said, Loki is one of the most intriguing Marvel characters, and you can do so much with Loki. Like, this is some of the most interesting lore I've seen from Marvel in a long time.
I mean, they have an alligator, so
yeah. And an alligator. We are team alligator Loki.
I don't know why I'm glitching, but y'all just roll with it. Okay, so
we're fine. It's white vision. That's why I'm doing something.
We're in the void, and we find that that is where people go when they are pruned. They enter this void, and it's like the Valley of the Dead, I guess you can say, because nothing escapes alive. And while they're in the void, we're introduced to Alioth. I think that's how you say it.
Alioth, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alioth is this cloud dragon thing that destroys everything that enters the void. At this point, though, what do you think is going to happen? Do y'all think he's in danger? He being our Loki? What are your impressions, I guess, so far? Because this is the very, very beginning.
Who put that out there?
You did.
I promise. No, I promise I did not do that. I promise I did not.
It was curly hair.
It was white vision.
You're back. So tell us, Ryan, how do you feel about the episode? What are your general impressions?
Okay, first and foremost, sorry because I'm at my parents' house and the internet is just not very good. So yeah, my first impressions. I really enjoyed this episode, and one thing that I've liked about this series is how everything escalates without it being too ridiculous, right? Like sometimes when you have these kind of overarching mystery shows, they just have a tendency lost route where they just start to get ridiculous with what they're doing formula wise. And I really liked how this kind of stuck to, hey, we're building to this grand reveal at the end, but we're still going to give you this kind of back information on these characters. I really enjoyed all of the Lokis, and Loki just being over himself about 15 minutes into the episode was probably my favorite part. I enjoyed just sort of the small little Easter eggs. So the Thanos copter was probably my favorite reference of anything. And Throg, between Thanos Copter and Throg, probably my two favorite things. And then Alligator Loki obviously is the best Loki. There's no other. There's no one that is Loki. Superior. It's the only Loki. So, but yeah, overall, I thought this episode was really good. I love what they did with it. I love just the way that they're going with the story, and just kind of the peaks into the sort of the redemption arcs that I guess we'll get into. That one particular Loki got in the course of one episode.
He did. But I mean, you shouldn't be surprised because he's magnificent and his magnificence has to shine, whether in character or in person. So Renslayer, we're back in, we're looking at her and Sylvie because it's a continuation of their fight. And Renslayer is now saying, whoa, don't kill me, which was surprising to me because she told her to do it initially. Remember, when it goes off, she's like, do it. And she's like, no, you have to tell me everything. And they get to talking, and it kind of shows us that Renslayer is not as, I guess, cold or not as devoted or loyal to the timekeepers as we thought. Now that she knows it's a ruse, do you think that's legit, or do you think she knows more than she's putting on?
That's what I was going to ask. So
I was going to say
we'll get to that much later in this episode. I think we know who is secretly pulling the strings at the TVA. Is Renslayer in on that, or does she truly want to know like who's behind it? To me, I think Renslayer knows more than she's letting on, even though
I think she's got a big appointment with Jonathan Majors later, and she knows.
It was Miss Minutes all along.
I'm just saying, like that is a thing in the comics.
That was a good thing you pulled up because, of course, we all knew that she was stalling, right, Miss Minutes? She's going through and talking about this. What is it? A teleportation device or prototype?
A ship that travels
the void. Yeah, the void.
That can take us there. Okay, so Sylvie is talking to Renslayer, and Renslayer's like, I can get you to them. I want to know as much as you do, but you have to trust me. The first thing I thought about was, how are you going to tell a Loki to trust you? Of all people, of course she's not going to trust you. But it appears that she does, and that's with the Tempad at least. She handed the Tempad. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe, just maybe, this is the person in me that wants everybody to be good. Maybe something's going on. But then again, like I said, the stalling started. And I'm like, she's going to betray her. And she does, in a way. Now, I guess my question is it really a betrayal if Renslayer is still in a situation where she believes she's right? Or are we right about Renslayer? Because we've said that she's gotten darker over the last few episodes.
I think that sorry if I'm going to jump in. Because like I said, I don't trust her. I think that she's upset that she feels like she was lied to. I don't think she fully knew that the timekeepers weren't who they were, but I think she still is devoted to the purpose of the TVA. But by the way she's acting, because she's trying to protect whoever is at the end of time.
Is she a variant too?
I don't think so. Like I said, I think that. Again, like it's not even like how we were with Mephisto. Like they're being very direct with Kang. It's like so direct at this point where it's like it's not even a theorizing; it's just confirmed. So I think it's going to be tied into that.
You say that,
but I also said someone said watch it be another Loki.
Well, so that was my thought, right? Yeah. My thought was that we're going to have another Loki, because nothing. Marvel has not done anything straightforward with these series so far. And I kind of just feel like even though Kang is the logical outcome, like that's what should be happening here. Something just tells me that they're just going to pull a move because it's like AJ's been
You're
saying.
making it very obvious.
The purpose of these series, like AJ's been saying, is to set up the Young Avengers. And I can't see them unless it's like a post-credit scene like it was with Thanos saying, fine, I'll do it myself. Like, that's the only way I could see a Kang reveal. Is like very end, hey, here's Jonathan Majors with a blue face, D and Courtney thirst over him. Or he wakes up in a hyperbolic chair. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, I feel
don't think
like
we're seeing Kang. Yeah, I don't
I
think
don't feel like we're gonna see him.
No.
I do think that will be alluded to him. And I really feel like this last episode, there's not gonna be like the giant reveal that a lot of people are expecting. So I just, it could be a Loki. It could be, a number of things, a number of people. Isn't this the one series that they're talking about being multiple seasons?
Yeah, this is gonna have a season 2.
So that's another area where I don't know if they'll just kind of end on a Kang thing or if it's the He Who Remains sort of thing, right? Like if Renslayer is He Who Remains, and you know what I'm saying? Like there's all kinds of things that I feel like they could go in the direction of instead of just being like, hey, here's Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be like another diversion, just like it was with the animatronic ones. I feel like it's going to be like, you thought.
I wouldn't mind seeing more Gugu also. Just saying. She's great.
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. So we're back in the void, and the Lokis are kind of just talking about what we're going to do. Want to say, by the way, classic Loki. Magnificent job.
Richard E. Grant is so good. Like that was just like okay, we'll share the top spot between classic Loki and alligator Loki. For me, in my heart.
That's fine.
In my heart.
Okay, we'll go for it. And they pretty much say that Loki survived because that's just what they do. That's what they do. They always do. They figure out a way. And they're kind of sitting in this bunker talking about how they got to wherever they got. And Kid Loki says, well, my next event was I killed Thor. And I'm like, oh.
And you're just like, ooh.
Well, that's dark. That's dark. But we then see as they're coming down, did y'all notice that there was Mjolnir sitting there? Is it Mjolnir or Mjolnir?
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir was in the stuck somewhere, and some little creature was like jumping up trying to.
That was Throg. That was Thor.
Thor.
Okay.
Yeah, Frog Thor.
All right.
If I had, let me do that real quick. Who, if I had to guess, would be variant alligator Loki's Thor, if I had to guess.
I would guess. That would be amazing.
Makes sense. Okay. So they're there and they're kind of talking. And at this point, you can tell that I don't know how long the other Lokis have been there, but it's obviously been a while because they've kind of accepted this way of life. This is just what we are. And classic Loki tells us about how he went and pretty much pulled a Dr. Manhattan. But instead of going to, well, he may have gone to Mars. He just went somewhere and went into isolation because he had his moment before the rest of them, I guess. Well, I can't say before because he's old. So it may have just been, in his timeline, he kind of had his redemption and went away because he realized that wherever he went, destruction or whatever followed him. And that was, to me, that was dope. It was beautiful. It was almost like I'm going to try my best to be something other than who everybody thinks I am, which is what our Loki is trying to do too. Mm-hmm. But the bad part about it is he said this, as soon as he stepped off that planet, now he's back to this because it's like, it's almost that you're it's like, I guess, fate versus free will versus nature. And
they said anytime a Loki wants to reform themselves and do better, the TVA is like, nope. Yeah,
it's like you have to have a bad guy, and Loki's it, and they're gonna make sure he's it because the bad guy can't be the timekeepers, I guess. All right.
I did see an interesting theory along those lines, though.
Okay.
And instead of it being, as we talked about the single timeline, it might have been y'all talking about it. I don't know. Shoot, if y'all said it already, I apologize. But I do think that what this eventually leads to is this timeline ensures that Kang is born more than anything. And that's why everything is meant to kind of keep the singular timeline because it has to ensure that he's born so he can eventually go and take over time and all that shit. Sorry, it came to me as you were saying that, and I was like, I need to say that before I forget. So go ahead, D. I apologize.
Okay, no problem. Tell me the black Thor. I mean, the black Loki. What's his name?
Boastful Loki.
Boastful Loki.
Boastful
Yeah,
Loki is
Boastful
what the
Loki.
closed caption said.
Okay. Boastful Loki. But they're kind of all going through, and he was telling us a story, which makes sense because it was a lie, right? According to Alligator Thor, Loki, Boastful Loki was lying about what his next event was. Did he say he killed Thanos or something?
He collected all the Infinity Stones.
That's
Yeah,
what
he said he had-
he became Thanos. Yeah. And so they're talking, and then all of a sudden, Sylvie kind of comes up in conversation. I don't know if Loki kind of put her in there, but she came up, and you could see his whole demeanor change, which was weird to me. I mean, it was a good weird because it's like I haven't seen him love anybody except Thor, and he still, he still treated Thor the way he is. But I've never seen him love anyone like this. So my question to you guys is it because, of course, it's a Loki and he can't love anybody other? Of course, he falls in love with a Loki. Is it legit? Does he just want it to be real? Is it real? Do you think it's real?
I think
think
it's
so.
I think so, but a part of me is like I'm almost certain because they keep talking about Loki's always betray that Sylvie is probably going to
Sylvie's
betray
gonna
Loki.
betray him.
That's what I'm thinking too, and it's gonna break my heart.
I know it's going to break my heart, but
Whoa,
they
whoa,
keep
whoa.
talking about
Hold
it.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Remember how we said that, and we all agree here. There's not going to be a Kang reveal, even though they're dropping the Kang breadcrumbs.
What if are you saying if it's Sylvie at the end?
It was Sylvie all
along.
It's like literally an
I hope not.
Agatha. Oh my gosh.
I hope not. Only because we've done Agatha, but it would make sense. I want.
I'll be for it if they play the song
Also,
again.
there was also like a theme in the early episodes of Loki saying like no one evil is truly evil or fully or truly evil. No one good is truly good.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be like one of those things. There's probably gonna have an explanation of a greater purpose for this.
A glorious
Okay.
purpose.
So he goes back. So Loki's trying to go. He's like, I'm going to go find Sylvie because Sylvie can save the world. I feel like she can do it. Now, back to Sylvie and Renslayer. She's been cornered, I guess in a way, because the rest of the time cops, we call them time cops, right? That's the name we gave them. The time cops have come in to protect Renslayer. And she knows now, Sylvie now knows about the void. And she is talking to Renslayer and she doesn't trust her. Renslayer's like, I'll just put you in a good loop and you can just live out the rest of your days in a happy memory. And I'm like, but that's still prison, girl. That's not a deal.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Anyway.
I don't even trust her. She probably wouldn't even do that.
She wouldn't. When it comes down to it, because Sylvie's already given her temp pad back, she self-prunes, as they called it, because she's going to the void because she's trying to get to Loki. Like, that's where she's going. Again, I'm trying to figure out if it's because of Loki or if it's just because she needs him for her greater plan, her glorious purpose. I don't know. But they kind of alluded to, back in the bunker, they kind of alluded to her being his new glorious purpose. Because classic Loki asked him, where are you going? Where are you going? Are you going to your glorious purpose? And he's like, something like that. I'm like, oh, this is adorable. This is adorable.
So your glorious purpose.
I got your glorious purpose. Did y'all notice though that when they were running around and they were trying to like just go out, once they decided to go out after, jumping ahead, Loki tried to leave, but then there were hella Lokis standing over the bunker. Because of course it's not just 5 or 4 of them.
There's
not
so
just
many.
5. It's a bunch of them.
So good. It was so good too.
So
and we saw that Loki
Loki
with like the goggles that we kind of got, like they previewed us in like episode 1, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
We've got President Loki who has taken over pretty much, and he is the Loki that we knew first. Like he's the Loki from New York, pretty much. No development, no redeeming qualities. Just I want to be
This
in
whole
control of
sequence,
something.
though, was my favorite part of the whole episode. It was just so. It's just like that part of Marvel where it was like that really good like writing and humor that I really kind of miss because it was just so hilarious. Just that it's like constant betrayal. Everyone's betraying everybody.
Everybody. It's
so good.
It was
You get a
beautiful.
betrayal, and you get a betrayal, and you get a betrayal.
Betrayal party.
Yeah.
And the best part, my favorite part, of course, was boastful Loki and alligator Loki chewing off his hand.
Yes.
I'm like, that's what you deserve.
But D, why must Black Loki be the
Why must the
backstabber?
black man?
What are they trying to say
boastful?
with this? Why was the black man boastful?
Why was he boastful? Why did he want to take over? You know. So this is happening, and then classic Loki again, who always saves the day, sets a projection, and they get out. So now it's Kid Loki, Alligator Loki, Classic Loki, and our Loki are out, and they're gonna go try to find Sylvie. In the meantime, Sylvie's pruned, and the cloud, Eliath is coming towards her, and we see this car, and it's a pizza delivery car, and somebody's driving the car. And who was driving the car?
Mobius.
I'm so happy to see him. I really was.
Oh,
I
wow.
did not.
Wow.
Wow.
I can't believe he's not going to say that. This is whatever.
I need a final post-credit scene after the next episode where he's just it's a bunch of Mobiuses on jet skis and they're just riding in the wow. I need that so bad.
They need to get a Mobius on a jet ski, if nothing else.
If nothing else. I just going wow.
I was so happy to see him though. Like
I knew it too. I knew it. I knew
he would be there, and I was still just very happy to see him. Sylvie just jumps in the car. She doesn't care who it is. She just jumps in there because she figures whoever's in the car has got to be better than Eliath. And they're talking, and they're kind of trying to figure out what's going on. And she's like, "We have to go back. Like we've got to go back to it because as she was running from it, she caught a glimpse of something." I didn't know what was going on. I really didn't know what she saw.
Almost enchanted it, but not really.
There was a period where they connected, and she like slightly she connected to it, like for a brief second.
I was very happy when they explained it because I was like, I don't know what she just saw, but great. So did y'all notice though that when they were talking about going back towards it, the Lokis were going back towards the cloud. They were like, well, we're just gonna go, we'll figure it out. And Loki's like, no, we need a plan. We need a plan. I was like, oh, look, she's rubbing off on him already. This is adorable. But they finally link up. He gets back to her. I thought he was just gonna go, full out rom-com, embrace her and kiss her and all that mess, but he didn't. And they kind of talk about what they're gonna do. And Sylvie tells us that she thinks that she can enchant Eliath. And to me, I'm like, well, this really sounds like the best plan so far. If she can do
what
it.
else are we gonna do? I mean, because she almost did. So that kind of gave her the idea.
And it's a great plan because I'm thinking if she enchants it, if you enchant whatever it is, her enchantment just makes her kind of, I guess, suggest. Didn't we kind of say it's kind of like Inception? It's like you're suggesting. Yeah. Okay, so that's the plan. And they we go back to Renslayer. Now, I don't think anybody trusts her. Like nobody at this point. Because I honestly
not even the other TVA cops.
Yeah, I can't figure out whether she already, because there's a part of me that believes that she was betrayed, like she thought the timekeepers were real, but then there's another part of me that feels like she knew the whole time. Like she knew, even if she didn't know that the timekeepers weren't real, she knew that those timekeepers weren't the real ones.
I feel like she knows something.
She knows something.
Because why is she? Because my thing is she's jumping to protect whoever it is at the end of time immediately. That's not someone that was betrayed.
it's just a big difference between the way she took the news and the way Mobius and B-15 and C-20 took it. It was totally different. And that's why I asked, was she a variant? Because I'm like, maybe she's not like them.
I don't think she's a variant.
We think
No,
she's
I
not
don't
a
think
variant.
she's a
a
Okay.
variant.
Okay.
I think either she 100% knows what's happening, right, and she's in cahoots with whoever it is, or it's one of three things. It's either that, or she knew something to an extent, right, that maybe those weren't the real timekeepers, but she still doesn't know who's behind everything. Like maybe she hadn't had access to that, or it's her.
If she's not a variant, what is she? Is she legit one of the people who's been there forever?
She could be the He Who Remains.
She could.
So for those that don't know, in the comics, and I only learned this by watching a lot of theory videos, so don't let me pull you into being a comic nerd. In the comics, there's a TVA member who's called He Who Remains, and he essentially is at the end of time and ensures that the timekeepers are created to then go back and create the TVA, which essentially is just a bureaucracy that exists because it needs to exist. So it could very well be that the setup is that they go to the castle and it's Renslayer, old as shit, and there we go. So I mean, that's out there. It's like less than a 1%. It's a less than 1% chance of being true.
A variant, then Renslayer is a Loki. That's the only way I'll accept a variant Renslayer.
See,
That is
I don't
interesting theory.
I don't think she's a variant at all, because like one thing Marvel does is they like basically put like several storylines into a pot and like melt it down. So so Kang was trying to impress Renslayer like once by like he summoned the Avengers. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna beat their ass," and then no, seriously. So what if so obviously Renslayer is from some point in time, and I do think there's a clear like Kang and Renslayer connection here. So I think he put her in this position. He was like, "Hey, this is your mission. Do this for me." But I think he told her like there may be like timekeepers. There may be something, and when she sees the animated timekeepers, their head fall off. She's like, "Wait, but I thought you told me yada
You
yada
lied
yada."
to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still think that like it could be Renslayer there, and her goal is to make sure that Kang comes to existence, which is why this is the sacred timeline. That's where I see this going. Like something may go wrong. Like maybe there was something going on. There was a timeline war, but maybe to stop Kang. And then it's like, okay, eliminate all the other timelines. The only one that can be allowed is the one where Kang exists and can come to be fruition. And where she was put in charge of that is what I can see.
Okay, I can buy it, because she definitely seems like the most powerful outside of
where
the
she's like still not
timekeepers.
being told everything, because it's like one of those things like if you knew the answer then you wouldn't do it kind of things.
Yeah.
So like where she knows what she needs to know.
Yeah,
basically.
either way, she knows, like I said, she knows something. And I think there's a clear link to Kang, like some way, somehow. So she knows something. But I also
And we're
think
getting the Fantastic Four
Yeah.
movie. I think we're gonna get a lot more.
right after Ant-Man. Quantumania.
Quantumania,
And this is
brother.
this is the quantum realm, not like the end of time, but the where they're in the void. Isn't that the quantum realm? We talked about that possibility.
Yeah, so when you go like subatomic, it's like a place where like time like stops pretty much. Like so that's why is it Janet Van Dyne? I get them mixed up all the time, but that's why like her aging like slowed down so much, because she was like in that place where like time just kind of like slows down, because like you are like so tiny that
She said that too. Renslayer said that. She said there's a point where everybody goes when time just stops.
and that's why we don't know how old Renslayer is, because remember Nathaniel Richards is from like the future, so we don't know how old Renslayer is, because like the TVA is like technically in the null time zone, so she's
We don't
been
even know
there.
how
Loki's like, are we the past or are we the future? So I think that was kind of a hint. I think that was a hint too. It's like, is this the past or is this the future? Where is this?
Okay, so they come up with this plan, and then we see, like I said, we're back at the TVA. We see that B-15 lives. Yay! Ruby didn't die,
Ruby,
and
as I say, Ruby made it.
Ruby made it. And Renslayer wants to speak to her, and I think she kind of asks her what does she want, talking about Sylvie, and B-15 says, "You're not going to beat her because you want it, but she needs it." And it's just like it's fueling her. It is the reason she exists. It's the reason she goes on. It's the reason she does anything, because she needs to know what this thing is that robbed her of her childhood. Now she and Loki, Sylvie and Loki have a moment. So adorable. Oh my gosh. Where they're kind of like childish, even. Like it's kind of like, I like you, you like me, but I'm not gonna say it. You say it first.
So D, you mean to tell me that our Loki is bashful Loki?
He's bashful Loki. He's so adorable. And I think it's more, I would say more cautious Loki. It's that thing where it's like a man's got to love Jones. You know what I'm saying? And he can't shake it. And because he can't shake it, he doesn't know what to do with it. But he knows that it's different. He knows that it's making him vulnerable. He knows that it's making him think and behave in ways that he's not used to. And I think at this point, he realizes that he is clay in her hands, and he will do whatever she wants to, because once a woman has you, my friend, you're gone.
So they say,
Yeah, whatever. Show me your hand again. What's the other one?
Hey, we're recording. Can we continue?
Yeah, okay. So they say, well, what are we gonna do when this is all done? After we find the Loki, the timekeepers and all this stuff. Sylvie says something that caught my attention, and she says we possibly could need someone to rule. And we know that our Loki, that was his glorious purpose. He wanted to rule something. Well, really, he wants to rule everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
My thought was like, well, why doesn't she want it? Like, why would she mention it to him unless she was like, you can rule and I can be by your side, or she can just go off and do something else. But he says, whatever it is, maybe we can figure it out together. So adorable, y'all. It's just so cute.
I still think that he's more into her than she is into him. I just don't.
Absolutely.
It's just, that's where I'm like, oh, she might betray him.
I think he wants to trust her, though. He wants to be different. He does. And because they are all the same, the Loki that classic Loki is now, that's who he wants to be. And you don't get to that without this part of it. Now, when if she betrays him, then it's probably gonna go out of hell, because how emotional again men get after they've had their heart broken. But whatever. That's something that we may have to worry about.
Do we think that our Loki's gonna survive this series or season, I guess?
Better.
Okay, so I believe so, because I don't see this being Tom's swan song, right? Like, I don't see this.
Yeah, I can't see his baby for a while, I think.
I can't see it. So, like, I feel like maybe this is the way to keep him around. Like, I saw a couple of people theorizing that the way that classic Loki survives, Infinity War in his universe, is the way that this Loki would survive. But I don't know, just because I can't see them bringing him back into the current phase. But I could see them saying, hey, we love him so much, let's give him this little series with these little essentially mini arcs every year. So I don't see him leaving. I feel like this is going to be his thing. Give me a Tom Hiddleston, Owen Wilson buddy cop time travel duo.
And that's what I called this at the beginning. Like, this is what it's gonna be.
Yes.
I'm okay with that too.
But let me toss this out too. Remember how, like, we broke down like what causes a Nexus event and why we had to get Loki out of here because he jumped the timeline. Technically, now that Loki is in possession of a temp pad, couldn't this Loki jump into the present? Because all right, so technically that Loki in that timeline was removed. So couldn't like then Loki almost like supersede like his old self and become that Loki? Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's not like there's two Lokis in that timeline anymore.
So you're saying that he is creating yet another Nexus event by being that Loki. Like he's
Well, see, I don't think there would be because if he
well, no, because there's only one Loki now.
right, it's only one Loki now.
Yeah, I like it.
And because I mean, basically, and ultimately, like it comes down to what Ryan said. Like this is Tom Hiddleston, and like he's like been like a star in the making for a while, and I think they want to like really push him forward. So it's hard for me to believe that they're just gonna bench him after like a 6-episode run.
But I don't think they're bringing him back to the movies, though.
Push him forward, please.
Because I know they said Tom Hiddleston for sure is not going to be in the Thor: Love and Thunder movie.
I don't believe them.
Well,
They lie.
So yeah, I mean they definitely lie, and it just depends on which way.
We're talking about the Russo brothers,
Thor
right?
4 goes.
Is it the Russo brothers still?
Oh, the Russo brothers are the biggest liars
They
on the planet.
lie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends on how Thor 4 goes, and we don't even know. Like I don't know at this point how it ties into the rest of the upcoming phase. But I mean, yeah, they could very well be lying, and they could find a way to bring him back because this has opened up the excuse to bring him back, right? They might not even be doing a second season. This just may be a way to get him back into the MCU timeline. I'm like y'all. They're not done with him. It's just a matter of what way they want to keep going with him. And I feel like it would be a disservice to just regulate him to a streaming only series. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's Tom Hiddleston. Like, just let him keep going. You know,
maybe he's gonna be doing other stuff, and this is what he has time for.
I mean,
possibly.
He has a lot of free time now that he lost the like. Well, I won't say he lost the James Bond job, but it was his. And then Babyface decided to come back for one more movie, and he was like, "Well, damn, I thought I was."
I know, right? I thought this was it. It's like,
all right, Brett Favre.
I was gonna say like Brett Favre. Okay, so they decide this is what we're going to do. We're going to enchant the cloud monster, what's his name?
Elias. Very biblical sounding.
We're gonna do it, and it's gonna be me and you. So they decide that's what's gonna happen. We've got all the Lokis. We've got Mobius, and they Sylvie gives Loki the Tempad, which to me was a show of trust, right? I'm like, he's gonna do it, but he doesn't. He decides to give the Tempad to Mobius, and I'm thinking, okay, well now they're stuck, like they're here, and whatever plan they had, they're going to execute it. And Mobius leaves, but before he does, Loki calls him a friend and gives him a hug, and I think that was legit. I think that was like, this is, you have been my friend, I am your friend, and go to the TVA and give him hell. Now,
someone pointed out that that's the only person he's ever hugged besides his mom.
I'm interested to see what happens between Mobius and Renslayer when he gets back to the TVA.
I'm so curious about that too.
Also, Mobius isn't the last we'll see of Mobius either. So just toss that out there.
It can't be, right? Like,
he'd be a big character.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Kid Loki, and Alligator Loki, and Classic Loki were all given the opportunity to go somewhere else. But like we said earlier, this has become their home, and they're like, "No, we stand, we're good, we're fine." Because again, like they said, they survived, so I don't think they're worried about that. And this is what they know. So Sylvie and Loki go and try to figure out what to do. They have a nod of understanding, which says if this event doesn't happen, something has to get Elias' attention. And our Loki runs off and tries to distract him, but he's not fooled because he sees Sylvie doing something. And then Classic Loki comes in this great superhero save the day moment and builds this wondrous thing.
Asgard.
What's that, Asgard? That was Asgard.
I think it was classic Loki's Asgard, because it was kind of more old, like an old school looking version. So I would just assumed it was classic Loki's Asgard, which was cool.
And it's great to me how how like the writers when they built on this the whole time, because the whole time they've shown how good he is with his projections. And this was just like a great show of it. But I'm like, he's building a whole like nation. This is amazing. And it gave our other two the spark they needed to understand that I think Sylvie says it, we're stronger than we think. Because they're standing there in awe, like, how is he doing this? How? And I think that also gives a testament to how amazing it was, because again, you got two Lokis who can enchant people. Our Loki, you know, is the god of mischief. He makes stuff all the time. So the fact that they were just standing there in awe at what he was doing shows how strong and how powerful classic Loki is. And of course, he makes the ultimate sacrifice, which made me sad, but I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, he finally got to have his like purposeful moment where he was good.
Purpose. Yep. And although Eliab takes him over, Loki and Sylvie connect because she tells him, "You're going to help me enchant this thing." Loki was like, "I don't know how." She's like, "Yes, you do, because we're the same. You are me. You're Loki, so yeah, you know how to do it." And I think that's what she got from classic Loki, because she's saying we're stronger than we think. So whatever he can do, I can do, because we're the same. You know? So they do, and they finally enchant this thing, and then the cloud separates. And I thought about you, Ronnie, because I'm like, oh, it's like a proverbial curtain.
Which let's just go ahead and get and there may be people who picked up on more, but let's go ahead and get into like some of the Easter eggs that were dropped, because when the cloud opens, what color is the cloud? It's purple and it's blue, little tints of red. Like what color? Like who's that color? Kang the Conqueror is that color. Also, you see like a thing that resembles like almost like a decaying, like dilapidated castle, but you also see like a destroyed building. That building is Stark Tower, but it has KENG on the side. Excuse me, QENG on the side. Which is Kang Enterprises, which Nathaniel Richards in the future starts, who is Kang the Conqueror. Also, and this is something I want to ask everyone, because like I need my memory refreshed. I haven't seen it in a while. Also see Yellow Jacket's helmet. Yellow Jacket is the Vision, is the villain from the first Ant-Man movie, but his helmet is randomly like there, like in the sand. So what happened to Yellow Jacket at the end of the Ant-Man movie? I can't remember. Like refresh my memory.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember either.
Okay, so yeah, but yeah, those are the Easter eggs I picked up. I'm sure they're like.
I'm gonna Google it now.
But yeah, like
if you hadn't asked, I could have told you, but I don't remember. The last thing I remember was the tank went through the building. That's the last.
So yeah, to me that was our very, very obvious, like on the nose, like Kang reference. Like we're not gonna get Kang, obviously, but I do think like they wanted you to know, like, okay, he's coming. Like he's not coming anytime soon, but just know that this is confirmation that, you know, he's coming.
He's coming. I'm excited about it, you know, honestly. And not just because it's Jonathan. I know the thirst is real, but
so his suit was supposed to implode his body into nothingness, but apparently in an interview, the actor was like, it's inconclusive. He's presumed dead, but we don't know.
Okay. He's gonna have a soap opera return.
Right.
He will. I'm not mad at that though. I mean, it's a superhero movie, so if people die and come back, it's just like, whatever.
That's the genre.
It's not Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
All right, so
unless you're Scarlett Johansson.
It was, yeah. This was Ronnie's penultimate episode, which is usually the best episode. What do you guys want or need from the finale?
It's gonna have to be a lot because there's so much has happened in just 5 episodes. I don't know.
This has been my thing with the Marvel shows so far, right? Is that I feel like the finales are supposed to. There's a lot of converging storylines by the time we get here, and that we're expecting to answer in 45 minutes. WandaVision did this. Falcon and the Winter Soldier did it. I feel like that one was a lot more clean than WandaVision's was in terms of just hey, let's tie these together and just get this out the way. Whereas WandaVision was like, here's thing.
They also had like a whole removed storyline. So
right. So yeah, I mean, if for what they faced, right, of being poor timing with the pandemic, throwing off their storyline, I feel like they wrapped theirs up pretty well, and we all knew the eventual conclusion of that series. So with this, I really feel like there's only a few ways this can go wrong. The reveal would have to be very underwhelming.
And not in the clever
reveal?
and not in the clever kind of way.
Not in the clever kind of way.
The Kang reveal?
Not Kang, because I really don't think Kang is showing up.
You talking about
just the head of the TV,
whoever this is,
timekeepers,
whoever this is.
Okay.
What would piss you off?
I don't really have anything that would piss me off, honestly, other than like, oh, there was nobody there, and we're gonna spend season 2 looking for them. That'd probably be the only thing I'd be like, okay, you just wasted my time for 6 weeks.
So you want an answer.
I want there to be an answer, because I do believe that they're going for an answer that's going to roll into the next few series. Remember, Loki was supposed to be the first of these things that aired. No, I'm sorry. It was always supposed to be second of these series that aired. And it was going to be
first. Was WandaVision
Falcon and Winter Soldier. First. WandaVision was not supposed to be released until right before Doctor Strange 2. So Doctor Strange 2,
it was supposed to kind of segue into
Doctor Strange 2, which was going to kick off everything. So Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to happen like in March or something like that this year.
Okay. I was about to toss a spoiler out. I had to stop myself.
A spoiler for I mean, just say the series it's for.
All right, so Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So there's now a clear reason why that was supposed to come first.
Do it. What
do you say?
If it's
we're 47 minutes into a recap on the 5th episode of Loki.
Because it ties into something that people haven't seen yet.
Like
what?
How have you seen it then?
Think what comes out tonight, like tonight.
Oh, okay.
What comes out tonight what's today?
Black Widow.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, drop your theory. Have you seen it?
No one. Raise your hand and then scream. Raise your hand if you're going to see Black Widow.
So the mid-credit scene of Black Widow is the reveal of Julie Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina.
Okay.
Because Taskmaster is also in Black Widow, and Taskmaster has basically, if you don't know, Taskmaster has like a memory that picks up on like all the moves of each foe he or she fights, and it's going to be a she, by the way. That's another spoiler. So Task.
You didn't tell me. So cool. It's a lady.
I mean, I just found out. So yeah, so Valentina was supposed to be at the end of Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what
they may have removed that. They may have left it in, but like that part has been confirmed. So
okay. So what were you getting at that you were gonna? Was that tying into something else, or you just wanted to say that shit?
No, I had to stop myself because, like I said, I don't know what your endurance is for like. Well, your interest level is for like Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Because I was about to. Because I was about to say, yeah, there's a clear reason why Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to come first, because it ties into Black Widow. That's the point.
Okay,
yeah.
No, I'm here now. I just was wondering, like,
my bad.
I thought you were going to take that into then Loki. No. Okay, no, I get you. All right, no
connection at all.
I figured she was going to show up in that. Like, I figured, yeah, it just makes sense.
I'm with it. Okay, so what do you two need? I mean, Ryan told us. What do y'all need from the finale?
Oh, I think it's going to start with Mobius. That's what I think.
You want Mobius?
I think it's going to start with Mobius. I don't think we're going to see the reveal until closer to the end of the episode, obviously.
Yeah.
We're not going to see that.
I'm okay with that. I hope that we see Renslayer and Mobius have a come to Jesus of some sort, whether it be good or bad. I want to see them.
They have a history.
Yeah. I want to, like Ryan said, I want to see who it is, who the person is that's pulling the strings now. Even if the greater puppet master is Kang, I still want to know who's the minion on this level. Even if it's Renslayer, like just tell me who it is.
She's his boss. She's the boss on this level.
And I want to know what happens with Sylvie in some kind of way. Like Sylvie and Loki need to, if they don't wrap up, it needs to be a situation where we see that they're going to continue into something else.
I will be upset if this is the last of Sylvie that we see.
Yeah. And if it is, it needs to be done some kind of way,
well,
like definitive way. Yeah, so I'll know that this is it. But that's all. Ronnie, you got anything, or you good?
Yeah. So what I don't expect a big reveal, but I do want to know the TVA's true purpose. Like if I get that, I'll be cool. And I think that's probably the ending we're going to. Like, oh, like you thought the TVA was doing this, but they're really doing that. And I think that's what we'll get. What will piss me off is like I cannot handle another Quicksilver moment. Like don't do something to like be like, hey, you thought it was this and it's that, because to me that's just cheap. So but I actually don't expect many answers. I do think however it ends, it's going to set up something larger, and it might even be like open-ended. It might even be like, a cliffhanger.
I would actually love for it to be a cliffhanger.
Me too. And because like we need that. Like Ryan said, we don't need to like try to like, string together like each like thread, because that's where you get like an episode that's like anticlimactic. So if you at least like tell me like what the TVA is attempting to do, because like I said, this isn't the last we see of Renslayer, this isn't the last we see of Mobius. So yeah, if I get like an answer as far as like the TVA and like some clues as to like what this leads to, I'll be cool.
I do like the theory of them walking across the void, walking inside the castle, and standing there is Mobius, and he just says,
Hey! Wow.
But like they wouldn't do it, but wouldn't that be so perfect for like a Loki show to end on like a massive troll?
Yeah.
It would.
Yes.
Ronnie, what if the episode is just exposition? What if it's just Renslayer sitting down explaining to us everything that happened and just giving it to us step by step, spoon feeding us what happened, just in case you missed it.
As much as I love to hear Gugu talk, like if that's the episode,
what if she sings?
Please.
What if she sings it? What if it's a musical episode and she sings what all happened and what you missed? Because she can do that.
I will have to fight Kevin Feige. Like that's all that's all that's left. Like I'm gonna have to fight
I'm just
him.
saying, like, I hope y'all are ready to see how insufferable AJ is gonna be now that Kid Loki has manifested.
Oh my god. Every time AJ is right, I just kind of groan.
And yes, Mom, AJ will be on the next episode.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I want to add. I
don't want AJ to be correct. I just don't want him to be right.
I mean, he was preaching to the choir on that one, because once I saw Speed and Wiccan, I was like, yeah, we're getting Young Avengers. So.
Well, and then She-Hulk is coming, and
Speed and Wiccan.
And just
I want to say, I say Russo brothers, but Taika's doing Thor, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, okay.
It might be the last movie he does with Marvel.
He's doing more than Thor. What are you talking about?
Taika's doing everybody.
That boy putting a triple double up.
He's living everyone's best life.
I'm not mad at him. If it's the life he wants to live, you got to let Taika live. Well, I have enjoyed the series so far. I knew I would, because, I mean, what's not to enjoy? I think they're going to wrap it up well. I hope they do, at least. But even if this next episode, it's got to be like really, really bad for me to say this is terrible.
Didn't we used to say that about Game of Thrones? We used to say that about Game of Thrones before season 6.
But that was a whole season though, so we were prepared for it to get like it just kept getting worse. So this has been building at a nice pace the entire time.
Dave and Dan aren't near this, so I'm okay.
If there's a season 2, I would not be disappointed at all.
What if you see the directing credits? It's Dave and Dan.
Oh my goodness, I don't want to talk about Dave and Dan doing anything else ever. But yeah, I'm satisfied with it. I'm happy that I watched it. I'm happy that we saw it. And the next thing is Black Widow. Is that the next Marvel movie?
Mm-hmm.
Widow, and then
y'all got it.
Look,
and then what if comes out in August?
I love
that. I'm looking forward to.
I love a
Widow,
movie. We're finally gonna have a Marvel movie with an Asian American lead.
Is it Widow, then Thor, then Strange?
Shang-Chi. Widow. It's Widow. What if Shang-Chi? No, Shang-Chi is before What If. I think it comes out like right after my birthday, or right before my birthday.
Wait, when is the Eternals?
No, I thought What If was dropping.
I just saw it.
What If?
when
I
was
thought
the
Shang-Chi was
Eternals.
August. Oh, no, Shang-Chi is September.
Yeah,
Pardon.
and then after
What
that, I
if-
think
what
Doctor
is- what
Strange
if-
is like November, December.
Doctor
Are
Strange,
y'all
I
saying
thought is
what
first.
if?
Yeah, What If is
Yeah.
going to be a
Oh.
series on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's right. They bumped Doctor Strange to like first quarter 2022. That's right.
Yeah, Doctor Strange
What
is
is
going
What
to
If?
be. What If is a
It's
mini
gonna be
series
like
that
the first like
explores-
big kickoff, right?
Yes.
What's it about?
Okay, so What If is basically going to be them exploring different universes or different multiverses and these different scenarios. Like, what if T'Challa was Star-Lord? What if Peggy Carter became Captain Carter? What if, all those kind of things. Doctor Strange
But
is set for.
how does that tie into the rest of it? Or is it just
We
kind of-
don't know yet. I think it's just
Okay.
going to be it looked like it was just going to be an episodic series or like an anthology series.
Mhm.
But they're kind of revealing like a tie-in or something that ties these stories together concerning this animated universe and Doctor Strange. And so it wouldn't surprise me if this somehow turned into that. Like if you go watch the new trailer, it kind of hints that there's something bigger at play. But it might not be. It might just be an anthology series, which is really cool. So yeah, that's August 11th, and then Shang-Chi is September 3rd, and then we're gonna get Eternals this November, and then Doctor Strange is March.
Oh, I didn't realize Eternals was that far.
Isn't
off.
Rob Stark in Eternals? I
Yeah.
thought I saw that because I was at the movies this weekend, and I was like, is that Rob Stark?
Mhm. Yeah. Well, that's it, y'all. I don't have anything else. Do y'all have anything? Any post?
I have one more thing, and it's about
parting
1 minute
remarks?
long.
Go for it.
Mhm.
Oh,
All right.
Lord.
Hey! Wow. Wow, you're in good company. Wow, look at this. Wow, and how'd that affect you with guys? Wow. 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 That's a good message. Wow. Wow. Wow, you're so dominant. Wow. Wow. Flippers and all. Wow. 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 Oh, wow. 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 Oh, man, I feel like wow. Oh. Wow. 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 Wow, that's pretty good. Wow. 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 Welcome to the 700 Club, kid. Wow. 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 Oh, wow. Thank you for that. Wow.
That was insane.
He really only has one gear, but I
One
guess
gear.
if it works for you, then hey.
I'm just gonna be upset because they said that he's not gonna say it. I'm gonna be really upset if that's true.
I need him on jet skis.
I
It's
wonder
like
if
they are
they.
not
I
saying
feel like they had to have gone out of their way to not write the word "wow" in his dialogue.
No, he
'Cause he's
says it once.
ad-libbing.
He said it once. He said it once
Yeah,
at one
he
point.
says it once. Yeah.
He says it once, and it was all I
Oh, he
needed.
said it.
But I
Well,
need
you
more.
got what you needed. Well, we'll have a little bit more next week because we'll have our finale show. Please join us because we'll be
Bye.
back. And you stayed with us this long, so you might as well wrap it up with us, people. We appreciate you. We love you. And until next time, peace.
Bye.